Welcome to the very pleasant surprise of 2019, another 935/143 scale model, the 935 Spectrum Edition. First of all, thank you very much for tuning in to 911 Scales. My name is Michael and here at 911 Scales I do model car reviews like this one. If you're already a subscriber, thank you very much for sticking with me. Also, thank you very much if you're a follower on Instagram. I post there twice a day content, model car and Porsche related. But now let's get to this 935. It's a model Porsche fixed something, because at the original 935 there weren't these turbine wheels, and finally they've done it. They added the turbine wheels to the 935. So as usual, first of all we take a general look at the model. I'm giving you some background information about it. Then I'm taking the camera up close to the model and I show you all the details with my macro lens of it. And in the end, as usual, we will conclude with some points in the usual disciplines of price, quality, details, rarity and significance, so that you can decide if you should add this to your collection or if you should skip this model. So the 935 is the holy grail of the 991 generation. It's a very limited edition of the very limited edition GT2 RS Clubsport. They changed the body of it. But if you want to know more about the 935, I already did a 1/18 scale model review linked here in the card below. Make sure to check this out. I'm talking there a bit more about the car itself. But now to this model. This is the second 935/143 scale model Porsche brought out. And the first one was a bit controversial because it was lacking the wonderful red turbine wheels, which obviously the 1/18 scale model has. So as this model is a Spectrum Edition, you might wonder, as what is a Spectrum Edition? I think I read something about this. It's a monthly calendar edition, so they bring out every month another model, and this would be the first one for 2020, which makes this January edition, but they've brought it out in November, so yeah, makes not so much sense for me, but yeah. This is what I heard, and let's see what the other Spectrum editions will be, and if we have at the end of 2020 12 models, then we know, yes, they brought them out every month. But that's all for now. Let's get the camera up close to the model and I'll show you all the wonderful details. Let's start this time at the rear of the car. As you can see, that the 935 looks very well indeed, and we're starting out by pointing out some details I find a bit controversial. Like here at the bottom, these slats are just decals. They aren't in the body of the car, which is, I would say, is a mistake. Continuing here, the wing just looks amazing and so big. Here you can see the wonderfully extreme rear end of the 935. The wing is just amazing, huge, spanning all the way over the sides of the body. Then here you have, like also on the 1/18 scale model here, there is the Martini 15th anniversary logo, the Porsche logo and 935 logo are very well executed and are crystal clear. Then here the exhaust, this looks, I think looks okay. I think they could made it better. It does look a bit cheap, I would say, especially around the edges. It does not look so nice. Yeah, they could have made it a bit better, but then these threads are very well done. Also here the little light and the leash are very well done. And overall I would say this is a very nice model. But as you can see, the first thing you noticed here, if you look at the spoiler, let me scrape over it, maybe you can hear that. As you can hear, the carbon fiber is molded into the plastic. Usually, as a model car producer, you would take decals for the carbon fiber. I get why they have done it, because attaching the decals to the cars are huge work and costs way more than just molding it into the carbon fiber. I would say for a 65 euro model car, this is a quite controversial choice, but overall it gets the job done and looks good. Only if you get really close to the model do you notice, and the most predominant part where you notice it is here on the spoiler at the top, where Porsche is written all across over it. Usually on a carbon fiber spoiler there would be the lacquer and then the Porsche logo over it, so it looks flat, because here it is molded, you can see the actual rivets in the plastic. And now continuing to the side, as you can see here at the side, the decals are very well done. Yeah, the Mobil 1 logo, the Michelin logo here on the side, also the rivets and the Michelin logo on the tire. The wheels itself look very well, and I'm so glad they brought back the turbine wheels. The size itself I think is a bit small. Maybe it's just on this 143 model that it looks that way. On the real car they just look massive as hell. Also, some minor critique here is the central wheel hub. On the real car there is a Porsche logo on there. Here they are just this boring looking things. I don't know why they've done it. On the other side they are obviously red, here they are blue, so this is depicted right, but the Porsche logo is missing. But again, this is very small part of that model, and if you don't look very closely on it, you will never notice it. Then here at the center, the door mirror is actually a carbon fiber decal. So here they made the effort and put carbon fiber decal on the plastic, so that looks very nice. Also, you have the big 70th anniversary. As I said in my other reviews, I'm not that big of a fan, but yeah, Porsche did it and it's depicted right. Then here these air vents are real. So here they also make the effort and it looks very nice. And overall the front looks very good. This is where the model thinks it looks the best. The rear looks also very nice with the big carbon fiber spoiler. The Martini livery here, Porsche logo here looks really good. Also the front splitter there again is the controversial carbon fiber choice. And something else I would criticize, it looks really good, the lights down here, but these are also only decals. They could have chosen clear plastic, which looks way better in my opinion, but this also gets the job done, but considering it's a 65 euro model, I would criticize it here. At the top here is also this Porsche writing, which looks really good. Then you have this hatch here, which looks very nice. And the interior of the model looks also really good, but it's all black, so this is pretty much impossible to show you guys on the model car here in the video because it's just so tiny. It's not possible with the camera to get really well done. Just a quick follow-up on the other side of the model. There you have the 935 with the Spectrum Edition written, and there you have the limitation number 2020 with all individual numbering, which is very well and makes a model look better than the usual one of 2020, for example. Overall, I think this is a good looking model, but obviously criticizing the carbon fiber choices. For me personally, I don't mind it that much. I think the decals sometimes look also a bit odd, especially if they are not placed exactly. So here you don't have the problem with the decals, but overall the look does not look as good as perfectly placed decals. Okay, at very last, before we get to our scores, I just want to show you the box that this model is coming with. Looks really good. You have this wonderful image of the 935 here, and there you can see the right wheel hubs, right? So this is what they would look like, and also there you have the wonderful slats in the body, which are just a decal on this model. Overall, I think it's very well done, and I really like that it's not just the usual gray cardboard paper box. So this is a bit more special in my opinion, and I really like when Porsche is doing that. Alright, back again here. So as you've seen up close, the model can be viewed as a bit controversial. Overall it looks very good, especially with the red turbine wheels, but as you've seen there are some choices which could be judged controversial, and this will be also reflected in the points I give this model. Coming to our first score price with 65 euros, this is a price Porsche usually charges for the most valuable and limited models, so this gets only a 6 out of 10. Quality, as you've seen, the quality overall is very good, made by Minichamps. There aren't any defects or something like that. The model itself looks very well. But now to the more controversial part, which are the details. So as you've seen, I showed you they skipped decals for the carbon fiber, and they just molded the plastic so that it looks like carbon fiber. Also, as I've pointed out, the air vents back here are just fake and does not look as good. If you compare to the 1/18 scale model where you can see the actual slats, this looks way better. But yeah, so details, as I said, this model gets only a 6 out of 10. For a 65 euro model, this could be a better score. Rarity, yeah, also 6 points because it's limited to 2020 pieces, like the year 2020. So it's not a very rare model. Sure, it's limited, and you have the wonderful individual numbering on this model. So this is a good one, which is by most collectors considered better than the one of 1000, for example. So you can actually have the chance to get like a wonderful number like 911 or 1000 or something like that. Alright, significance, like the 1/18 scale model, this gets, because it's a 935, it's this wonderful 991 generation, 911, together with the Speedster. These two form like the last hurrah. And this is like the most extreme 991 generation there will ever be. So for this, it gets a significant score of 8. Overall, this means the model gets a 33 out of 50, which puts it a bit lower down in our scoreboard. Mostly because of the lack of details or the choice of details. Alright, that's it for this review. Thank you very much for tuning in. Make sure to check out my other content here on YouTube or Instagram. Don't turn off the video now. Just in a second you will see some very lovely detailed shots where you can check out all the details for yourself. Thank you very much again. Allah, ciao.